Hey Switchers, how's it going? Kanan here, and thank you once again for joining me for my review of Arkan, the Dog Adventurer. And before we get started with all of that, why not hit that like and subscribe button? You know you want to, and you'll be updated with all my latest content. And if you want to get further involved, why not head over to our community Discord? A link is down below. And without further ado, let's see what Arkan can do. Gameplay. And story-wise, well, with a story as simple as go smash stuff up, it's hard to resist its charms. However, it does ask the question of what do you get if you mash up Arkanoid, a platformer, and sort of Angry Birds-ish? Well, let's put it this way, if this was a meal, I'd probably give it a big pass. But, you know what? It kind of works. And with that, let us find out why. Well, control-wise, you have like a jump and a double jump, and that's kind of like the platforming style when you're jumping on different, well, platforms. Then you have a ball that you aim on the fly with this arrow, and then when the ball is in play, you use a field sparkly bling thing to redirect it back to where you want it to go. And the ball gets stronger and stronger each time you redirect it, which kind of makes it more important to try and keep the ball in play instead of it going to the back of the actual screen behind you, where you lose the ball and have to start it from scratch again. It kind of gives it a neat little risk reward. Is it worth going to like try and redirect it and having more power, or are you going to get killed or lose some energy life? And talking about your life, you do have like an energy gauge, and basically this shows how many hits you can take before dying and having to restart the level. Directly below that is your like ball count that keeps going up and up as you actually hit the ball and redirect it, as I said. And then to the left hand side of all of that, you get the last element of the game, your teleporter gauge. And basically your teleporter is something you can activate, point where you want to go to, and then, well, teleport there. And it also slows down time as well, so you've got a little bit of time to, well, think about what you want to do next. And yes, this did take a lot of getting used to, but when you do, it kind of clicks. Although I will say that the actual teleport mechanics, I haven't really used that much. To such a point that I sometimes completely forget that I have the teleporter and the actual slowdown mechanic to use. There's around 60 levels and 180 stars to collect, and these stars will basically be your way of being able to open up the other stages, so it kind of makes it imperative that you collect these as you go along. And both these other levels have different styles and creatures to defeat, as well as like different mechanics as well. As the first one, you gain different things like witches, and the second stage you're like got these like different creatures and everything, and also these zombies that try to grab you from beyond the grave and drag you to hell. Or at least something like that anyway. Each level is kind of like a static level that you have to move around, and part of the screen has like a force field where all the monsters and blocks that you need to like destroy are, so you can't actually just wander up to them and start shooting upwards and everything, which would have basically made the game piss easy. So yeah, good idea there. The variety that you get in the levels and also in the monsters feels fair for the price, and the difficulty seems to rise well enough to give a challenge and a little bit more lastability to the game. Graphically, again, it's quite nicely animated for the price. It looks okay. There's nothing really special about it, but again, it's that difference in the stages and the creatures that, you know, will definitely add a little bit more to the game so that you're not getting instantly bored with the same thing all the time. And I do like the added extra of like zombie hands coming out of the ground. That's just a nice effect, and it's kind of neat the fact that it now keeps you on the fly because it's not just a visual thing. Sound wise, it's okay. There's nothing really special, there's nothing really bad about it. It does exactly what you need it to do, and yeah, I like the music, it's pretty cool, and the sounds of everything else seems to be, it works for the game, let's say. And for the price of the game, it's kind of like what I actually expected. The good. I do like the gameplay, it's quite nice, it's a great price, and the controls in the end is quite enjoyable. The bad. I kind of felt like the teleport slowdown thing was kind of almost like a gimmick that didn't really need to be in there. It is a little bit repetitive the further in you go. The score. And so I score games out of 5, and it's my own personal views of the game and price and everything like that. And with that said, let's see whether Arkan is going to make it up onto the Wall of Fame, or the Wall of Shame, or scratching around in the middle. And I'm going to award Arkan because it's a decent game, it's got quite a bit to it, but it's a little bit short, but the price reflects that. And so I'm going to give Arkan a 3+ out of 5. A definitely above average game, and it mixes up quite a different amount of genres, and it does pretty decently with it. And as for my alternative, it's going to be Death's Hangover, another game that kind of like gives a twist on the brick breaker type genre, and yeah, I've heard really good things about this game. It's around about the same price level, and it has actually had some pretty epic sales as well. And so, what are your thoughts on Arkan the Dog Adventurer? Leave them all down below in the comments, that's after all where they belong. And if you've made it this far in the video and you haven't already, why not hit that like and subscribe button? It will keep you up to date on all my other videos and content. And if you want to get a little bit more involved, then why not head over to the community Discord? The link is down below, and come on over for a chat, or maybe play some multiplayer games, because life is better when we switch together.